Hello, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and welcome to December. The new moon will affect you most from 5 to 14 degrees and happens overlapping November 30th and December 1st at 9 degrees of Sagittarius, which is pretty significant since the 9th degree represents Sagittarius and the 9th house. This is happening in your second house of income, banking, self-reliance, self-esteem, and self-worth. The second house also rules like our face, our mouth, our throat, what we eat, what we value, immediate family, farmland, property investments, high quality food and drink. It's a house that sits on the axis of me, we, independent versus codependent. The Sun and Mercury are here as well, so there's definitely like a lot of action happening in the second house. With Mercury, you could be spending quite a bit of money, which falls in line with the holiday season. You could be motivated to increase your resources with all of this activity here and desiring to be less codependent on a partner's income. You could be wanting to make changes to your diet, to what you eat, to have more vitality and energy and to improve your self-esteem, especially since I see Mars in your 10th house and Mars is trining over to this moon and sun in the second. Also motivating you as Mars rules you to make changes in what you do to earn money, to line up a legacy story as opposed to working a day-to-day job so many of us have to do to pay the bills. Some new investment or business idea can come to you now and over the next 6 months that can change your status and title and heal that Chiron wound in the 6th house of the daily rise and grind. Mars is also trining the North Node in the 6th house, indicating that whatever's baking now in the second house for you is fated to maybe turn your life around, not only financially but also health-wise, which isn't too surprising as work and health can go hand in hand. This new beginning that you're trying to start to secure resources and financial self-sufficiency encompasses your family as well if you have one. It could be a new family business idea that comes up around this time. Write down any ideas that come up with the North Node of Fate involved, trining Mars, your ruler, and this moon and sun. It's bound to be life-changing. Saturn from your 5th house is making a square to this moon and could mean that your need to increase your resources has to do with a child, maybe to pay for sports or their education, for example, or something school-related or just related to your child in general. The square is coming from your romance and fun house, that 5th house, so maybe a new beginning you want to make around finances is being blocked or limited by a romantic partner. Again, the motivation comes from your ruler Mars, who wants to help, and even though he's about to go retrograde the next day, the aspect is positive nonetheless and is lending you the courage, energy, and willpower to push through any difficulty. Mars is strong and lucky in the 10th house, actually. And I think as it moves forward in the spring and by the time of the full moon, you may have rewards and recognition or a whole new lucrative career and title that can improve your second house areas, maybe even bringing like cosmetic changes as well to the face, to the teeth, etc., to help you present differently out in the world. That world stage is the 10th house. Squares are not meant to stop you. They just create energy, and they want you to make sure that your plans are airtight whenever Saturn is involved and that it's an accomplishable goal or that you're willing to put in the work. And you're Scorpio, ruled by Mars. You're definitely, you got that energy in spades. December 6th, Mars will officially start retrograding in Leo in the 10th house of career, father figures, reputation, legacy, government, fame, etc. at 6 degrees, affecting Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising most from 1 to 11 degrees. We also have that Pluto Aquarius opposition in place that I talked about for November's forecast. And that opposition will be on and off till April. So you can go back and listen to the time-stamped November astrology for the opposition. I'll link it down below. What I like for you is the Pluto-Venus conjunction. Remember that Pluto is one of your rulers, which is a whole new energy now that Pluto will stay in Aquarius for the next 20 years. This conjunction last happened in 1778. This is huge, and it is felt from the 7th of December until the 13th. And it's happening in your 4th house of home, property, ancestral property, motherhood, our roots and conditioning that comes down the line from the past. It's forming a trine to Uranus and sextile over to Neptune. This can look like a sudden, smooth, yet powerful shift and magical transformation for a family member. Maybe they are a Capricorn or have strong Capricorn placements. And I say this because they just had Pluto leave their sign and could be leaving a beautiful positive gift. And Capricorn rules your family members, like siblings, cousins, aunts, and uncles, and childhood friends that feel like family you would choose. This could also be a powerful new romance that comes on suddenly, maybe through a business partnership, or maybe a romantic fun love suddenly becomes more serious and moves to a more committed state. It could be your children, if you have any, that are experiencing this once-in-a-lifetime, life-changing money or creative winner love. When you have Pluto, it's deep stuff, and but you already know this since Pluto is your ruler. And Venus is love, women, feminine energy, luxury goods, art, music, anything creative. And you combine the two, and maybe since it's, maybe since, oh my goodness, maybe it's you, since Pluto and Mars are your rulers, aren't involved in this aspect, who is coming into some kind of large amount of money or fortuitous business contract or partnership that will unfold in a profound way in the next few years, possibly radically transforming your life at its most base level, the fourth house. I do say to be careful anytime Pluto and Venus are touching, is it can bring obsessive love, hidden love admirers, stalkers. It can definitely be that. I just had to throw that out there to be safe. But since it's you, Scorpio, and you rule the domain of Pluto and Mars, I think you got this. This affects Scorpios most, 0 to 5 degrees is conjunction, but all will experience the flavor of this conjunction as Pluto moves along through Aquarius over the years and Venus returns to Aquarius. Those degrees will line up at different points over the years. On the 15th, the full moon in Gemini at 23 degrees affects you most if you have Gemini or Sagittarius placements anywhere from 18 to 28 degrees, or if your sun, moon, or rising Scorpio 18 to 28 degrees, and it's falling in your 8th house. And Mercury also goes direct in Sag in your 2nd house on this day. Again, I see money being discussed. The 2nd house represents business, but also banking, and the 8th is shared resources, loans, taxes, inheritance, chunky money we receive but don't necessarily earn. They are the houses of Taurus. Taurus is the 2nd, and you're the 8th, Scorpio. They are also very tangible, sensual houses. We have earth and water here. Mars from the 10th is trining over to Mercury here, and this could be discussions around a job opportunity, as you may say goodbye to an old position, but it'd be one you'd be happy to leave, as Mars in the 10th has you fired up to leave an old career behind to begin something that you actually want to do. Jupiter is in a loose conjunction with his full moon in the 8th house, and Venus is over in the 4th, sending a trine to Jupiter. This is beautiful. It could be, culmination around an 8th house area like taxes, like surprise, you have a new accountant and they found tax breaks. And you'll be getting way more money than you have in the past years, or you don't have to pay thousands, or maybe you don't have to pay anything at all. A family member can bequeath you an inheritance while still alive. This is something that people do, sometimes to help their families reach important life goals. You can gain a large sum of money, maybe from your property, like selling a piece of property because of Venus in the 4th, or taking out the equity in your property because you found out after your property was assessed that it's worth thousands more than you thought, and you're using this money to start a business, or maybe to beautify your home, or to use in some upcoming like Bitcoin investments or something like that, or some kind of other stock, for example. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just throwing that out there. This is for entertainment purposes only. Either way, something juicy is definitely happening with Jupiter in the 8th and Venus and Pluto in the 4th. If it isn't money, it could be you and a partner healing wounds around intimacy in a transformative way, having a new beginning and starting over. The 8th can represent where we store our trauma individually and with a partner. And Jupiter has been trying to heal this area since May, and will stay here until next June. Jupiter also expands problems, so maybe problems have gotten worse before they can be fixed and get better. And with this full moon, it can be bringing these problems to a satisfying conclusion for you, for something new to be born in the realms of intimacy and money. On the 30th, the new moon in Capricorn happens at 9 degrees, sextiles you, sun, moon, or ascendant. This is happening in your 3rd house where the sun is. So there could be new beginnings unfolding now and over the next 6 months around these 3rd house areas, which you can write this down if you want, but 3rd house contains childhood friends, siblings, cousins, your neighborhood, small business, marketing, elementary education, social media, vehicles, local travel, travel by car, short distance, a state or two away, several hours of driving. This moon is only receiving positive energy from Saturn, who's the ruler of Capricorn, which is sitting in your fifth house of romance, children, fun and winning. The fifth house is a lucky house, and this could be a new beginning happening for your younger children and their education if you have any. It could be a solid, new, stable business related to technology or a social media app. You're getting support to creative or a spoken or written project, which can show result or culmination by the full moon in Capricorn next July. Also, this lends to stability of emotions or your thoughts, since the third house is a mind, thought, ideas house, especially if things for you or your children have been difficult, or there's been difficulty with a love partner. Now you're getting some stability and calm, or your children are, and it's lasting, with Saturn baked into this new moon in a positive way. Our stability of mind and emotions is so very important. I know it doesn't sound so sexy, but it is, it's a place where we can successfully operate out in the world by being balanced on the inside, even though it doesn't sound, as fun as some of these other aspects. It's fundamental to which everything else operates, right? Who cares if things seem to be good on the outside if everything under your roof or with your children is in upheaval? And there's a saying that goes, you're only as happy as your least happy child, and truer words could never be spoken. Anyway, whatever creative idea you're working with or that comes to you at this time, if this isn't about children and family, it could be something that comes down the pipeline of messages, emails, etc. Write it down. There could be some Saturn gold luck there that appreciates with time or becomes more solid by next July. This is a great way to end the year for you, Scorpio, and to begin anew.